Yo, I'm back in the gym, day 2. And let me just... Oh, something in my eye, man. Yo, London's different gravy, man. Absolutely different gravy. Anyway, just got to reflect on something. I'm going to do some bicep curls at the same time. With one hand. Oh, I'm so stiff from yesterday. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is social engineering. Now, I forget the bicep curls. Obviously, I'm a business lecturer, and my big thing is photography. So anyone who knows me has always known that. But there's a guy who I follow on TikTok. You go on all the tubes. Man's got his picture all around. Gary, the economics guy, the ex-trader. I love what he says. And what he says is so true. And just going around London and seeing the amount of money, central London, money's just falling everywhere and being spent everywhere and invested everywhere and all that type of stuff. And you'd think to yourself, the way it's been told to you, if you don't live in London or you're not here, is that that's not the case, that it's falling apart and if you walk around Walthamstow, it's knife crime and you're gonna get stabbed and you're gonna get your phone stolen. That has happened. So my daughter had a phone stolen. And obviously I've known people who have been stabbed. But you can't live in fear. And my link to this is that we're talking about social engineering, and the best way to control a big group of people is using fear. The fear. Now, yes, there are certain things that you don't need to be doing. So let me give you an example. You don't need to be walking around the street, busy streets, with your phone in your hand. Yeah. When you're if you want to go on your phone, go in a coffee shop. There is a coffee shop literally every third shop. Go in a coffee shop, go and sit down, plug your charger in. Yeah. I'm not saying it's unfortunate to have your phone stolen, because my daughter had her phone stolen. But you know, look around, look at the amazing buildings, look at all the shops, see me, I like looking at people's faces, because obviously into photography. I like shapes, I like interest, yeah, and I like to see people who've got a story, and you can see from people's faces, they've got stories, there's lots going on, there's things happening, yeah, but don't be a victim of social engineering, yeah, don't be a victim of it, you know, and I know it's tough to go against it, because I remember when Stephen Lawrence, the unfortunate, there's no words to describe what happened to Stephen Lawrence. And from then on, every time I walked around, anytime I saw a group of white guys, I thought about it. That's what happened. In my mind, that was my thought process, you know. And it's a lot to overcome, and I get it when people have things to overcome. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself, is that people always try and take things from me. And I understand it, because when you have natural charisma, people want some of that charisma, they want some of it. And let's say, for example, you don't see selfish people until it's time for them to give. Now, in fact, if that's I'll just freestyle that. So if that's gonna be the title of my video. You don't see selfish people and it's time for them to give. And there was an incident in a school a few years ago, and I needed someone who I called a friend to give, and he didn't. And what he did was was even more selfish than normal. But you don't see the signs up until that time, because you don't want to see the signs. You just don't. You know, and like, you've, you know, people have taken from me since I was a child. When I was in Jamaica at the age of what? Whenever Ghostbusters came out, I had a Ghostbusters jumper with the Ghostbusters logo. And I had to fight every day because people were trying to steal that jumper. You know, just grown-up kids trying to steal my jumper. I had to fight. So then when I came back to England and went to school, and people know me from junior school, there was no discussion. It was just bam, bam, bam. Not good. But it took me some time to learn that that was not the way to deal with things. Then my mum was taken from me, whatever circumstances. My Star Wars collection and toys were taken from me, whatever circumstances. I did a video recently about an ex-girlfriend who was taken from me, whatever circumstances. You know, and even up to a couple of years ago, when I was let go from a certain job, I'd left all my stuff in the classroom and and they had to post it to me and all this sort of stuff. And the end result was, I'm thinking now, listen, I can't leave anything anywhere, because someone's gonna take it, use it, read it, you know, and all of that. People always take it. It's madness. Anyway, back to my social engineering. And the reason why is this Gary, so let's go full loop. So this Gary guy, Gary Economics, he talks about how young people aren't able to buy houses and this, that and the other. And it is true. It is much harder to exist in life now. And the narrative that we're being told isn't the truth. But then this is the options to you. The options are, there are options, but they're not nice options. They're not easy options. They're not good options or straight away. So let's say you're from Enfield and your family live in Enfield and you want to buy, you're 22 and you've saved up 50 grand, which is amazing if you have. You got 50 grand in savings. You still cannot buy anywhere in Enfield. Done. And if you could, it wouldn't be anywhere where you'd actually want to live. Whereas 50 grand deposit would buy you somewhere stunning up north somewhere. But you don't want to live up north. So the narrative becomes, we can't afford to live. You can afford to live, you just can't afford to live where you want to live. It's the same in Solihull. Solihull and Shirley. If you're from Shirley or you lived in Shirley and it's your first time, you know, unless you're buying a flat or unless you got a huge deposit, you can't afford anywhere in Solihull. Maybe in Damson Wood or wherever it is. Not Damson Wood, I can't even think of the area now. You know, you can't afford these things unless you got massive amounts of help from friends, family, parents, whoever. So this social engineering, this control, this easy way out. Oh, well, I can't afford to buy a house. You can afford to buy a house. You just can't afford to buy it where you wanna live. You know, I'm supposed to be doing bicep curls. So just a quick one. I'm gonna talk more about it when I get back, because I gotta train first so that I can have my full English breakfast: bacon, egg, sausage, mushrooms, beans, some tomatoes. Yeah. Anyway, listen, I'm gone. See you in a bit, guys. Bye.